Hello and welcome back to the channel for a very special unboxing. As you'll know, if you're a regular viewer, I have been trying to track down the last few Doctor Who figures I need to complete my collection for the past 6 months or so. And it's been going quite well, and a lot of people have sent stuff my way or sold stuff to me or whatever and got in touch to say that they've got some of the items that I'm looking for. And January has been no exception. There have been a couple of new additions to the collection, which I'll be talking through in more detail in my collection update for this month. But there is one that I want to dedicate a special unboxing video for, just because it is in the box, and also just because there's quite a story behind it. Yes, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title for this video, you know what this is. It is, of course, the Keeper of Traken collector's set. But the story behind this is that the person who got in touch to arrange to send me the set is Connor Goddard at LiamMichael97 on Twitter. And Connor actually lives in Australia. So this set has come all the way from Australia to get to me. It's taken about a fortnight, I think. So not too bad, all things considering. And yeah, the hunt for my missing Doctor Who figures has officially gone international. It's quite baffling to think that, you know, someone in Australia has got in touch out of the blue and sent me this. It's just amazing. I'm so grateful, Connor, for this. Thank you so much. A brief comment on the set itself as well, just briefly. It is one that used to be available quite readily in the UK. I did actually see it in Forbidden Planet once or twice, back when I was sort of starting to collect the classic figures around about 2015 or 16. And like I say, there are a few sets like that were still available a few years after they'd come out. Things like, oh, I don't know, the Image of the Fendal set, the 2-packs with Perry, the Castrovalva set with the Master's Pillar TARDIS, things like that. Things that I was sort of working my way through. So every time I'd go to Forbidden Planet, I'd sort of pick one of those sets up. I did see this one on the shelf, but by the time I'd got round to sort of wanting to get this one, it had disappeared. There was only one on the shelf. So yeah, it's been quite a story about how I've got to this point of actually having one of these in my hands, but very grateful to have it. Yeah, thanks again to Connor, and yeah, let's crack it open, shall we? So how do we open this? I think on the back. Oh yeah, I should probably show off the back as well. Just pause the video if you want to read the lovely little description there about the Keeper of Traken, Tom Baker's penultimate story. Okay, here we go. Right, so the first thing I need to do is just get rid of the box, nice as it is. It will be staying in my collection, but for now we are done with it. Yes, wow, this is really nice. It's an interesting set as well, this one, because when I saw photos of it back in the day, I hadn't quite clocked onto the fact that I think 2 pieces are in the set, so the Mecha figure and the Grandfather Clock Master's TARDIS. Well, I suppose both the Master's TARDIS is in this set. Both of them are rotocast, I think is the term, isn't it? Like where they're hollow essentially, or at least for the Mecha, I think some of it's hollow. Maybe like the top half and then the legs and arms and whatever are actual, like, you know, proper parts. Maybe just the legs actually. We'll take a closer look and see for ourselves. Is this affixed in some way? Yes, it is. Right. Don't want to tear anything. Yeah, like I said, I do keep all of the packaging for these things these days, because in some cases it can sort of be not quite as rare as the figures themselves, but you know, it's just worth having for that reason. And just before we move on to the figures themselves, there is the lovely diorama backdrop behind them. A lovely view of Traken, I suppose it is, isn't it? The sort of garden from that story, and a little glimpse there on the left of one of the like council rooms, whatever it is. I think I have seen the Keeper of Traken twice now, but yeah, I don't remember a massive amount about it, but hopefully enough to sort of get us through this. And so here we have the 4 figures, the Master's TARDIS in Grandfather Clock form, the Master himself, the Mecha, and then the 4th Doctor with his Source Manipulator sphere, I believe it's called. I had to just check the packaging for that. I think I've remembered it correctly. Yeah, obviously the thing that he uses towards the end of the story, I believe. So let's crack these open. I think first of all, let's do them in order. Let's go for the clock first, which is probably the least interesting thing in the set. But nevertheless, it's a nice one to have on the shelf, I guess, to go next to your Master. In fact, actually, while I'm here, I'm going to cut all of these ties off and then I'm going to pull them out, and then we can get all the figures out. Right, so moment of truth. I think the clock has already fallen out. Yeah, we'll tense that one first, as I say. So yeah, it's the Master's clock with stickers on the front. Obviously, quite a basic piece. I've seen other people mention this in other reviews and things. Yeah, it is easily sort of the least interesting thing in the set. As you can see, it is hollow. It's got a little hole at the bottom from you know, where it was manufactured and everything. But yeah, a nice one to have on the shelf, I suppose. Always great to have another version of the Master's TARDIS. Then the Master himself, next up. So this is a reused sculpt, isn't it, from the Deadly Assassin Master, just with a different head, swapping out Peter Pratt for Jeffrey Beavers. So yeah, you know, not 100% accurate. Again, not the most exciting thing here out of everything on offer, but nevertheless, yeah, I'll still sort of say that it's a nice one to have, you know, to complete the set of Masters, really, apart from Eric Roberts, that is. And Sash Dhawan, character, get on it with Sash Dhawan. But yeah, another nice one to have. And then we have what is probably the most interesting figure in the set, always one that intrigued me when I saw the promo pics of this back in the day. Yeah, so the Mecha, as I say, it is, I believe, hollow, the top bit. Yeah, and the arms, sort of, they don't have any articulation or anything. So this whole top part, oh wait, can the head, oh, the head can move? Okay. I was going to say it had no articulation, I take that back. The head has got some articulation, but not the arms, and then the, oh, I see, so the legs sort of have this weird sort of doing the splits thing, Mecha doing the splits there. An interesting one, to say the least. Yeah, it does sort of feel a bit like a, I don't know, like a bath toy or something. It's this feel of like the rotocast sort of figures. They always feel a bit different to the actual, you know, properly articulated ones. And yeah, it is literally just the articulation at the hips. So I'm hoping he does actually stand up when it comes to standing up. The legs look a bit wonky. I'm sure I'll work it out. But yeah, I mean, he's going to look really imposing on the shelf. So very pleased to have him. And last but not least, the Fourth Doctor himself, Tom Baker, along with his Source Manipulator sphere device thingy, whatever it's called, which actually is a really nice piece. I mean, it's quite light, you know, quite a lightweight sort of piece, not too much to it in terms of weight or anything, but very nicely detailed. And does make a difference to the set, definitely. A bit like the Earthshock bomb in the recent B&M set. It does make a difference to the set and sort of sets it off a little bit. But we'll plonk that down there just a minute to take a brief look at the Fourth Doctor with his arms posed there to hold it. So yeah, this is the sculpt that they reused on the Castrovalva Fifth Doctor, which I do have, actually. In fact, here he is here with his scarf on. I mean, it's basically just the same. Apart from that, I believe, slightly different finish to them as well. But yeah, great to sort of have the original Fourth Doctor version of this, because it is a sort of Fourth Doctor costume ultimately. You know, you don't really see Peter Davison dressed like this for much of Castrovalve. I can't quite remember, but yeah, it is more of a Fourth Doctor costume than Fifth. And we do also, of course, have his little sonic screwdriver as well. Just plonk it in his hand, so he can do some sonicking with his little device thingy-bob. So there we have the Keeper of Traken set. What a fantastic set. A strange mix of figures, I will say, just from a sort of purely sort of subjective standpoint there. Very grateful to have it, obviously. A massive thank you once again to Connor. But yeah, a strange sort of mismatch of some like reused parts and things and other bits that are sort of rotocast and sort of a little bit weird. But yeah, I mean, nevertheless, you know, at the end of the day, this is another set ticked off the list. One of those classic sets, which, as I say, you know, I always sort of regret not buying back in the day or missing out on or whatever. And great as well to sort of complete that lineup of figures from the trilogy of Keeper of Traken, Logopolis and Castrovalva, of course, because I do now own all of those. I mean, apart from the original release of the Fourth Doctor in his long scarf and in his burgundy coat, I have got the 13th Doctor's version of that figure. So very much looking forward to getting a photo of all of those together. That would be good. And if I've got around to doing that by the time this video is out, then I'm sure it'll be up on screen now for you to see. But otherwise, that is it for this video. So once again, a massive thanks to Connor. I will also put up on the screen now the image that sort of shows all of the figures I'm still yet to add to my collection. We're down to the last 80 or 85 now, I believe. So if you can help with any of these in any ways, especially the sort of the rarer ones, then do please get in touch with me on Twitter or Instagram or in the comments or something, and it'd be great to sort something out. Please do leave a like if you've enjoyed this, and also subscribe if by any chance you happen to be new here, and please also consider supporting my brand new Patreon page, where for just £1.50 a month you can get your name featured at the end of every video that I make. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.